Hello, dog lovers. Dr. Ben Parker here. You love your dog deeply, right? Of course you do. You probably buy them tons of squeaky toys and fancy, overpriced organic treats. You might even talk to them in a high-pitched baby voice that would totally embarrass you if your boss ever heard it. But here is the fascinating, mind-bending kicker today. Dogs simply do not experience love the way we humans imagine. To your furry best friend, love is not a grand poetic speech. It is not a mountain of expensive squeaky toys. To them, love is not even a premium treat tossed across the living room. Instead, love is defined by small, repeated, almost invisible signals that make them feel very safe. These tiny signals make them feel deeply understood and emotionally close to you. And guess what? Some of the most profoundly important signals take less than a single minute. Yet, surprisingly, most well-meaning owners go years without ever doing them on purpose. Researchers studying the magic of dog-human bonding have found something truly wild. Your dog responds to your presence, your gentle touch, your consistency, and your undivided attention in ways that look exactly like attachment in close-knit human families. In fact, fancy brain imaging work has shown that many dogs respond to their owner's praise just as strongly as they respond to a juicy piece of steak. Mind-blowing, right? In this video, I am going to walk you through 7 specific acts of love that your dog understands far better than words. Forget the baby talk. We are speaking dog language. And stick around, because the last one on this list is the absolute simplest, yet it may be the one thing your dog desires most from you in this entire world. Let us dive in. Number 1, touch them deliberately every single day. Now, I know what you are thinking. Dr. Ben, I pet my dog all the time. But let us be brutally honest for a quick second. Most owners touch their dog casually. It is a quick, absent-minded pat on the head as you walk by, or a distracted scratch behind the ears while you stare at your smartphone. Maybe it is a quick cuddle when the dog just happens to be nearby while you binge watch your favorite show. But deliberate, intentional touch is an entirely different matter. Calm, predictable, and focused petting has been scientifically linked to lower stress levels and stronger bonding in both dogs and humans. It is a massive biological win-win. In other words, your skin-to-fur contact is not just a display of affection, it is emotional regulation. It literally helps your dog feel safe and grounded in their own body. And as a wonderful bonus, it often helps you feel significantly calmer too. Your blood pressure drops, their heart rate slows down. It is nature's cheapest therapy session. So, I challenge you to do this once a day, completely on purpose. Give your dog 3 slow, uninterrupted minutes. No phone scrolling, no multitasking, no checking your email, no quick tap on the head before moving on to your chores. Just calm, steady, deliberate contact in a way that your dog actually enjoys. Notice where they love being rubbed. To your dog, that dedicated time is not a small thing. That is safety made physical. It is tangible proof that they truly matter to you in that exact, quiet, present moment. Love absolutely starts in the body. But the next act of love teaches your dog whether life itself feels safe and reliable. Which brings us smoothly to our second major point. Number 2, be predictable. Now, this might sound incredibly boring to us spontaneous humans, but dogs trust solid patterns way more than they will ever trust empty promises. Your dog cannot read a clock on the wall. They cannot check your digital calendar to see what is happening today. They live entirely in the present, driven by associations. They do not know whether you are leaving for 10 quick minutes to grab coffee or 10 long hours for a shift at work. To them, a sudden departure is just a scary departure. What they do understand and crave deeply is pattern. The morning walk, the glorious dinner time, the cozy bedtime routine. These are the pillars of your dog's daily life. They recognize the specific jingle of your keys, or the subtle way the house feels right before you leave. Dogs read our daily routines the exact same way we read language. Fascinating research has found that long-term stress markers in dogs and their owners can actually move together. You two are biologically synced up more than you realize. That means your dog often feels the weight of your lifestyle much more than you think. When your life is chaotic and unpredictable, they feel every ounce of that nervous chaos. But when life is steady and reliable, they can finally exhale and settle into it. A predictable environment lowers their baseline anxiety and allows them to truly, deeply relax. So, pick 3 anchor points in your day and make them as predictable as the sunrise. It could be one specific walk time, one dedicated feeding time, or one solid bedtime. They absolutely do not need to be mathematically perfect to the minute. They just need to be stable enough that your dog can trust the comforting rhythm of their daily life. To a dog, consistency is not boring at all. It is one of the clearest, most comforting forms of love you can offer. It says, "You can count on me, today and every single day." Now that your dog feels physically and environmentally safe, the next big question is whether their mind is actually being cared for. Let us move to act of love number 3. Number 3, feed their mind, not just their stomach. We all love giving our dogs a good meal, but what about their brain? A lot of dogs out there are not physically tired. Instead, they are chronically understimulated. They sleep, they wait around, they stare blankly out the window, and they live the exact same dull day over and over again. We often look at a dog like that and call them an easy dog or a good, quiet dog. But very often, the harsh reality is that it is just a profoundly bored, unengaged dog. Mental enrichment matters immensely. Scent games, food puzzles, snuffle mats, or simple problem-solving tasks like a fun game of hide-and-seek with their favorite treats. These are not fancy luxuries reserved for spoiled pets. They are a fundamental part of a healthy life for an animal whose brain is biologically built to notice and solve. Think about it, their ancestors spent hours hunting and scavenging. Your dog's brain craves a job, and the beautiful part is that providing this does not take much effort. Just 10 focused minutes of mental exercise can drastically change the quality of your dog's entire day. It tires them out in a way that a mindless walk simply cannot achieve. Hide some high-value treats around a room and let them use their nose. Stuff a Kong toy with peanut butter and freeze it. Scatter their daily kibble in a textured snuffle mat. Give your dog something complex to figure out, not just something easy to consume in 5 seconds. Make them work for it, and watch their confidence and happiness soar high. Because a dog whose brain is regularly engaged is often significantly calmer, much more confident, and infinitely easier to live with. Boredom is the enemy of good behavior. If this is already changing how you think about what your dog truly needs from you, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us reach more curious owners. That is how we get this vital information to more pet parents who actually want to understand their dog better. Now, you have fed their mind, but what about their instincts? There is something even more natural to a dog than solving a puzzle in the living room. Number 4, let them sniff. Stop rushing through every single walk like it is a race. Most owners treat a daily walk like it has only one single purpose: physical exercise. Let's get out, burn some calories, use the bathroom, and get back inside as fast as we can. But for your dog, a walk is so much more than a cardio session. It is critical information gathering. It is choice, decompression, and a massive mental release, all rolled into one. Sniffing is exactly how dogs read the world around them. Their nose is their internet, their daily newspaper, and their social media feed. It is definitely not wasted time. In fact, sniffing is one of the most fundamentally dog-like things a dog can possibly do. It honors their species. When every walk is just you saying, "Come on, keep moving," your dog may get the physical movement they need, but they do it without much emotional satisfaction. They burned some physical energy, but they did not get to actually be a dog. It is like taking a human to an art museum, blindfolding them and making them jog through the halls. Sure, they got exercise, but they completely missed the entire experience. So, on at least part of your daily walk, intentionally slow down. Let them choose a random patch of grass. Let them deeply investigate a weird smell on a fire hydrant. Let them take in the rich, invisible world of scents, instead of being constantly dragged through it. To us humans, a dog sniffing a bush for 2 minutes looks like nothing. But to a dog, that deeply focused sniffing session can feel like pure, unadulterated freedom. It lowers their heart rate and releases feel-good chemicals in their complex brains. And once their mind is fully engaged and their sensory world feels richer, the next act of love is what helps protect their mood and brain health over the long haul of their life. Which brings us to number 5. Move with them. Because their brain needs it just as much as their body does. Most people exercise their dogs solely to tire them out for the day. And yes, burning off that excess zoomy energy is definitely part of it, but physical movement does so much more than just guarantee a quiet evening on the living room couch. Regular, joyful activity actively supports stress regulation, promotes better sleep, stabilizes their mood, and is absolutely crucial for healthy aging in the canine body. Large observational research studies on older dogs strongly suggest that more active dogs tend to do significantly better cognitively as they age. Use it or lose it, as they say. Now, that is not a magic guarantee against aging, and it is certainly not about turning every single senior dog into a high-performance, frisbee-catching canine athlete. It is simply about keeping the body and the brain in constant conversation with each other. For younger, energetic dogs, that might mean intense, real movement every single day. But for our sweet older dogs, it may just mean slower, meandering walks, gentle tug-of-war play, or much shorter sessions done more consistently throughout the entire week. The ultimate goal here is not high intensity just for the sake of getting sweaty. The goal is to keep your dog actively engaged with life, exploring their physical capabilities. Movement is not just an exercise chore to check off a list. It is essential emotional maintenance. But even the absolute best routine in the world cannot help a dog who is struggling, because sometimes a dog is quietly hurting right in front of us. Number 6, catch the pain they will never, ever explain to you. This is a tough one, but so incredibly vital. Dogs are often incredibly, almost frustratingly good at hiding their physical discomfort. In the wild, showing weakness is dangerous, so they have evolved to mask their pain. That stoicism is honestly one of the hardest things about loving them. They cannot sit you down and tell you where it hurts. They cannot point to a sore joint or an aching tooth. And very often they will keep trying their absolute best to be a good dog long after their body has started struggling. They will chase the ball even if their hips are aching. That is exactly why one of the deepest, most profound acts of love is learning to notice what your dog would never know how to explain. You have to become their personal detective. A dog in chronic pain may not cry out, whimper, or limp in an obvious, dramatic way. Sometimes the signs are much, much quieter than that. You have to look for the subtle shifts. Maybe they start sleeping in a slightly different position. Maybe they hesitate for just a second before jumping into the back of the car when they used to leap with pure joy. Perhaps they stop wanting to climb the stairs at night. They get up a little more slowly from their bed. They subtly turn their head away when you reach for a specific spot. Maybe they become unusually clingy and needy, or conversely more withdrawn and distant. Or maybe they just seem a little less like their bright, goofy, normal, happy selves. And this matters immensely, because a sudden behavior change is very often one of the earliest, most reliable clues we get that something is medically wrong beneath the surface. What looks like stubborn disobedience can sometimes just be physical discomfort. What looks like grumpy moodiness can sometimes be a hidden ache they cannot escape from. What looks like normal, inevitable aging can sometimes be a highly treatable condition that has simply gone unnoticed for far too long. A loving owner does not just brush it off. A loving owner does not just say, "Oh, my dog seems a little off today." A loving owner gets intensely curious. So, start paying very close attention to those tiny daily shifts. Film them on your phone if you need to compare their gait over time. Notice changes in their sleep patterns, their appetite, their movement tolerance, and their overall energy. Bring all those specific details to your trusted veterinarian. And if your dog is getting older, do not wait for something dramatic to happen before booking that appointment. Increase the frequency of their wellness checkups before the physical decline becomes painfully obvious. Because a dog in pain simply cannot fully enjoy the beautiful life you provide. They cannot enjoy the rest, the play, the gentle touch, and the emotional closeness you are trying so hard to give them. Pain creates a solid barrier between them and their happiness. Sometimes, love looks like warm cuddles and affection. But sometimes, love looks like catching the hidden hurt they were desperately hoping they could hide from the whole world. And once you truly understand that, the final act of love becomes even more powerful and resonant. Because after all the routines, the long walks, the gentle touch, and the medical care, this last one may be the single thing your dog wants most from you. Number 7, just be there. Fully, completely, and unapologetically there in the present moment. This one costs absolutely nothing. $0. It requires no fancy puzzle toy, no expensive joint supplement, and no complicated daily schedule hack to implement right now. It is also the easiest one to accidentally overlook, simply because it feels way too simple to matter as much as it actually does. But to your dog, your presence is massive. Fascinating attachment research suggests that dogs do not just enjoy being around their favorite person. They actively use that person as a psychological secure base. Your mere presence dramatically changes how safe they feel in any given environment. It changes how confidently they are willing to explore a new park or a strange room. It even changes how long they will persist when a puzzle is hard, unfamiliar, or slightly stressful. In a very real, measurable way, your dog borrows emotional steadiness from you. That is exactly why dogs follow you from room to room like a tiny furry shadow. It is why they settle and fall asleep so much more easily when you are sitting right nearby. It is why some dogs keep glancing back at you on walks, making eye contact as if checking to ensure that the world is still okay. They are not just being annoying or needy. Very often, they are simply orienting their entire emotional state around the one relationship that makes this chaotic, noisy human world feel safe and understandable. And the quality of that presence matters immensely too. There is a massive difference between just being physically near your dog and truly being with your dog in spirit. They are incredibly intuitive. They can feel the difference between distracted, half-hearted contact and real, grounded connection. Between being managed and being chosen. So give them just 5 minutes a day where absolutely nothing else is happening. No scrolling on your phone, no loud TV in the background, no multitasking with chores. Sit down on the floor if you can. Let them come to you on their own terms. Let them lean their heavy weight against your leg. Let them place their chins softly on your knee. Let the quiet silence stay there for a second instead of rushing to fill it with chatter. For little puppies, this builds a foundation of unshakable trust at the beginning. For adult dogs, it deepens the beautiful bond that shapes their whole world. And for senior dogs, especially those who are slowing down, your calm presence is their anchor. Your dog does not need you to impress them. They do not need perfect words. They just need to feel that you are truly there. And for a dog, that is everything. Share this if you agree. 7 acts of love. Not complicated, not expensive, but deeply understood. Give them a life that feels safe. Thanks for watching Dog Talk, and I will see you in the next video.